Okay, so in the forest again, and I'm doing a little bit with live view. I'm really surprised. Front facing live view, I'm going to stick to that for this video. It's better than I thought it was going to be. It really is. Now you can see there's a little edge around the top of my head. Now my head is a little bit more forgiving for live view software because there's a good clean sharp edge there. Now when it comes to the beard, it tends to blend in a little bit. So if you've got hair, which I wish I did, but I don't, so that's the life I live, it's probably going to find it a little bit more difficult to detect around the edge of it. And that's fair enough. We're asking the software to do an awful lot on these phones. But I wanted to show you something because the use case for this will really determine what way your footage looks. So it's all auto, which is fair enough. It has to be auto because of everything that's going on. And we're asking a lot of it already. So it's going to change ISOs. It's going to do things so. Whereas I'm pretty sharp down here because there's a bit of light shining on my face. The scene is all kind of... It's lit well enough. Now it is a little bit darker, so you know that is going to have a little bit of an effect, but I'm still being kept off the background. Now I'm in live focus setting 2, so if you go to the second notch, it shows the background out of focus a little bit more than the first one, but I haven't like ramped it up. If I go up to 7, I'll show you. It shows the background out of focus a little bit more, but what I'd say is you're more inclined, again, I'm alright because I've got that sharp line around my head, baldy head, but you're much more inclined if you've got like a bit of a beard or something, or some hair, to have like a bit more of an issue. I think 2 is where it's at. Again, I've jumped back to 2 and you probably haven't even seen that much of a difference, which is the good thing, but I think the edge detection, because I think it works a little bit better, and what it's trying to do is it's trying to compensate for your face, because again, it's face detection that's going on. So look at this, when I tilt this up, and the forest is the perfect place to do this, because look, it's going to try to keep my face in focus and blur out the background, which it's doing. But look how soft I've gone. It's incredibly soft. Now, I'm going to turn it back up to 7. And what I find is, when it's at 7, it's like you can see more of the edge around my head, especially if I'm moving at all. The beard, everything kind of goes soft, and it gives me that kind of beauty mode look that I definitely don't like. Now, if I bring it back down here, you can see as the light's changing, it's not having to fight with it as much. It is keeping me off the background really, really well. I'm back at 2 now. I've just went back from 7 to 2, so I feel that's where it's a bit better. But you can see, even as I'm moving around, it's doing a pretty good job. Things kind of, sometimes they jump into focus, but they'll go back out quite quickly. It's not bad, I have to say. Live focus mode in front-facing camera is much better in the Note 10 Plus than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be super gimmicky, and I did see some videos where people had the backgrounds blown out, like blown out. What I'd say about that is, it can look pretty terrible, but if you don't want something in your background, isn't it nice to have that option? Like, yeah, I'm going super soft there again, but look at the dynamic range there, because guys, if I move out of this and my face goes, wait till you see how dark it gets. Dark. So it's really brightening things up. So the ISO is having to work. It's pumping up the ISO, and it's really trying to just increase that exposure. So it's a lot to be asking of a little front-facing camera of all the software. I think it does a good job. So that's the front-facing camera live focus on the Note 10 Plus outdoors in low light conditions. I would say be careful of the background, because, you know, if you want to keep things sharp, you can see how quickly things go soft. And then things tend to sharpen back up again as things kind of brighten up a little bit, and it's not fighting with the exposure of your background. So if it's really dark in the background and you're a little bit brighter, you can see that's actually working pretty good. That's working pretty good. But if it's really bright in the background, it's going to struggle a little bit more. You can see that it's like HDR kicking in. It's trying to do the background. The software is working away. Now the exposure on my face hasn't really changed, and you can see there, if it doesn't find my face, it's gonna yeah, it found my face again. You can see there, it's gone crazy, brightening everything up. As soon as my face can't be found, yeah, it changes it. So it's based on being able to see your face. Really interesting. I thought worth doing a quick video on, because if you're interested in the Note 10 Plus, it's going great second-hand price. That's how I got mine, and you can look at my review on what I thought. I'd never used Samsung before. It's my first Samsung phone. I am like a serious phone user. I put my phones under pressure. I use them all the time for my photography, videography. I've been a professional photographer for years, and I like to just put everything through its paces by using them stuff. I use the stuff all the time. I fill a 128 gig phone in no time. That's why it's nice to have 256 gig in the Note 10 Plus. So yeah, that's it guys. Live view, outdoors, front facing camera in low light conditions. I would say be mindful of your background. Not so much about it being busy, because it does do a good job if you leave it. And again, I leave it on regular blur, mode 2. Once you go into the other fancy blurs, you're asking more of the software for it to add extra things into it. Leave it in regular, just blur. 2 is good. And just be mindful of your background, because again, if the background is super bright, it's gonna have to try and boost things up. Whereas if your background is dark, it does seem to be concentrating on my face. And that's good, because it's maintaining the exposure of your face, which is exactly what you want if you're doing your vlog, your blog, or whatever it is. And this is just handheld, but again, you can pop it onto your selfie stick or onto your and you can see, like, this is handheld. It's plenty wide. You know, it's plenty wide. It's not like as if I'm really tall and have massive long arms. The phone isn't that heavy that it's going to kill you around walking around and kind of talking away to the camera. But you can pop it onto your selfie stick or onto your gimbal, whatever you want, and it actually does a pretty good job. You can see here, you can take a walk around the forest. Now, it's funny, it's just gone 8 o'clock, so my whole screen, I've got my Bixby routine set up. It's now gone a little bit yellow, but I can see that the exposure's still the same. It's maintaining everything. It's found my face. I can see it's always saying ready. When it doesn't find your face, so say for example I pointed over there, it says find a face, and there found my face, and it's increasing the exposure again. And you can see there, it's adapting pretty quickly to what I would consider to be a very, very challenging environment. Look at the difference in the dynamic range between the floor and the forest here, which it has definitely brightened up a little bit. I will say that, because it's darker here than it looks, but again, it's making sure that my face is bright enough. And if I swing around here, my face goes dark for a second, but then it's brightening up. It's working hard. It's working hard. But you can see the background is getting brightened up as well. And nobody wants to see that angle anyway. Nobody wants to see any of these angles. Guys, what are you even watching these videos for? Jenny Mac. It must be because you're interested in the live focus video mode. And I hope this helped. I hope it did. I'm going to be putting loads more videos up. So hit the like button, subscribe for all that. And I will talk to you in the next video. And I'm going to use my pen to sign off, because that's what I love about this phone. You got a pen. And you just press the button to end the video. So talk to you later, folks. Bye.